Welcome, everyone. I'm so glad you could join us for tonight's Spotlight program on Morningstar Investment Research Center. I am joined today by one of our wonderful branch programmers, Kath. She's over at TNC, and she's here to teach us all about this cool resource that might be something that you always needed to learn or wanted to learn. And I don't know about you, but I didn't have anybody to teach me this stuff when I was growing up. So Kath, thanks so much for joining us.
Sure, you're really welcome, Lisa. Thanks for hosting with me. And welcome, everyone. My name is Kath. I am a librarian at your Town and Country Regional Library. And I'm so glad that you're here with us this evening because this is a resource that is something I'm really excited to share with you about because it as I was sharing with Lisa, it gives you some real practical information to make some really important real-life financial decisions. Let's be honest, financial decisions are pretty complicated and you can't always be sure who you can trust if you just kind of jump on the internet and follow the latest YouTuber or the latest influencer. So this resource is really some good solid information that really can give you some actionable points and kind of help you settle in and make some important decisions. So this is Morningstar Investment Research Center, which we're just going to call Morningstar for the rest of the program. And if you've heard this term before, Morningstar ratings, that's what they're known for. It's a star rating system that kind of gives you a very quick 1 to 5 review of the strength and expected profitability of an investment. They actually are launching something new kind of as we speak just today. It's a medalist rating, which will be a consolidation of their analyst expectations of future performance. So if you follow financial press at all, you might hear that a little bit. But that won't affect what we're going to take a look at tonight. So what I like to share about this resource is that it's commonly known for stocks, but there's a lot more to Morningstar, and that is the educational and planning section that we're going to look at. We're also going to give you a quick demo with the stock functionality, and then we'll show you how you can do some comparison funds. So we'll do a nice little skim of this, and hopefully we'll give you some good information by the time you're done. So this,
I've got my note-taking pen ready, and I'll pop my camera off as you take it away.
Excellent. So this program actually came out of a conversation I had with a friend of mine, 24-year-old Chris, who had just gotten his first full-time job. And he needed, within the first few days of employment, to make some pretty significant financial decisions. He had to pick a health insurance plan, and he also had to pick how to invest his 401k money. You know, everybody pretty much these days is automatically enrolled in a 401k plan when they start. And they give you a list of funds and say, here, pick one. So we were talking about this, and he had a lot of questions, and I suggested that we take a look at Morningstar Research Center. So you're going to access Morningstar through your library's website, hcplc.org, and remember that .org. All you need to access this is a library card and a PIN. You can access this for free through any library, but if you happen to do it at home, you want to have your library card and your PIN, and your PIN is typically the last 4 digits of your phone number by default, unless you've changed it. So you're going to find it by going to the hcplc.org website, and you see that Learning and Research button up there. And then you're either going to find it by clicking on Business and Investments or the Learning and Research Resources A to Z. And this is what the icon looks like. So it's a pretty complicated homepage. So let's make some sense of this. The Home tab, there's some screeners. The first one is equity. Now, equity is basically stocks, fancy name for stocks. Then funds, mutual funds. ETF, that is the abbreviation for electronically traded funds. And then the last one that we're going to be spending some time with is planning and education. Now in the background, you can play around with articles and videos, helps and newsletters. But this is what we're going to be looking at. So Morningstar is primarily known for, their financial resources. And again, those star ratings. So just to give you the experience of searching up a stock or a company on Morningstar, we're going to search for Cisco. Cisco Systems has a location in Florida, so I thought that might be a good company to pick on. So you just enter Cisco in our search button, and you're going to see the returns that come back. It's going to offer you a list of potential matches. Now, we want the one that's Cisco Systems USA, and it's got this ticker symbol CSCO. So ticker is a 1 to 5 letter abbreviation handle for a stock that is a unique identifier for that company. Because if you've ever tried to, you might hear in the news, like some people who are looking for Zoom and they found some other company. So you want to pay attention to what that ticker is. That's pretty important. So here's the page that returns. And there's, again, a lot of information on this page. Pretty much anything you want to know about Cisco Systems, you're going to find it here. Quick viewpoint of the current stock price, that's kind of up in center. And if you scroll down the page, you're going to find a wealth of information. So now you know what most people use Morningstar for. But what we're going to use, and a lot of people don't know about, is the planning and education section. So on this page, our planning and education overview here on the left, that's trainings that are offered monthly for free through the Morningstar staff. And you can definitely take a look at that. They'll show you how to use the site, explain some of their features. We're going to be looking at the planning tools, and in particular our Investing Classroom, but there's other planning tools available as well, Portfolio X-ray and some retirement and college cost calculators. So we would just click through to this Investing Classroom. And we're going to click on Learn More. And here is the menu of options. So anything financial, stocks, funds, how to manage a portfolio, bonds, those ETFs, again, electronically traded funds, retirement planning. You can't really see that icon fully. It's ESG, environmental, social, and governance. That's a really big topic in the news. It's about funds that are looking to be invested in environmentally conscious, climate conscious things. So that's a whole nice little module right there for you if you're interested in investing that way. So we are going to take a peek at this planning section. And now in the planning, there are levels of complexity of trainings going from the 100 level to the 500 level. So I know, because I did some research, we're going to want the 200 level, and we're going to find that introduction to employee benefits right there. And when you click through to there, so there's a lot of clicking, but just work your way through it. Here's the menu of employee benefits, which we all know is a pretty complicated topic, but it covers everything: payroll taxes, health and vision insurance, how to choose one, what's an FSA, what flexible spending account, disability insurance. Do you need that? Especially if you're a 20-year-old, do you need that? So there's a lot of information here, but as I sat with my friend Chris, he said, let's just start from the beginning. So introduction, let's just jump right in there. So you get brought to the next section. It'll give you a nice little outline of what they're going to cover. So if this isn't quite what you're looking for, you can back out. What's kind of neat is they offer you the chance to take a quiz before you start the module. And that's kind of interesting because, I kind of assumed I knew a lot about these things. I took the quiz, maybe not so much. Or you might surprise yourself and find out you know more than you thought you did. But that's completely optional. You can just hit the Start Now button if you don't want to take that quiz. And that'll jump you in if my slide advances. Here we go. So what's nice about this is if you look up in this corner here, the 1 to 7, that's telling you kind of how many modules, mini modules you're going through. And it's about a page, maybe. And that's the way if you have to, leave, you can kind of navigate yourself back, or if you want to go review something, that's a quick and easy way to navigate to your page. So you can go ahead and click on, the next, And as you work your way through, just a little question, a question or two between each section. It's just to make sure that you understood what was presented before. And you certainly can go back if you need to. So one of the big questions that Chris had was, what is a cafeteria plan? Like, what does that mean? So this is why the introduction was a perfect section for him in particular. So a cafeteria plan is an employee benefit arrangement that lets employees choose from a variety of benefits in order to craft a benefit plan that suits their needs. The name comes from the cafeteria-like manner of choosing benefits. So it's hard to explain financial matters in simple language, but they certainly try to do it in clear language, right? So you understand a cafeteria, what are you in the mood for today? You want salad and a soda and a hamburger. So you just pick what suits your needs. So this was super helpful for my friend. And when you're done, he gives you a little bit of a summary, gives you another chance to take that quiz if you want to. And you certainly can go back and revisit, and you just can kind of work your way through the different topics. So the other issue that my young friend had was how to invest those 401k funds. And again, he had his list. And so what we decided to do was kind of come back here. And now we're going to go to the fund section off the home table there. And we're going to do fund compare. So you do need to know the name of the fund you're looking for. So we had two. One was a Vanguard Target Retirement Fund, and the other one was a BlackRock fund. So I highlighted again those tickers. Those are going to be pretty important. Remember, a ticker is just that 1 to 5 letter abbreviation that indicates which fund we're dealing with, but you got to be careful with those. And then as you go through, you can review the report. And so what's nice is it gives you a side-by-side comparison. And again, there's a lot here because no one said finances isn't complicated, but we're looking to give you information to make some decisions. So there is so much information available. What's really neat about Morningstar is for most funds, most investments, they have their analysts write up a little brief on it, what their expectations are, how they feel this company is doing compared to the market, compared to their sector. It's basically like how is Publix doing in the grocery business. But if you want to make a quick down and dirty decision making, returns is an easy way to look at things. So they let you compare them side by side. They give you multiple years of information. So with that, you can kind of take a look, give your best guess, and go forward. Now, if this kind of whets your appetite or you want a little bit more, we have some other great resources available for you through your hcplc.org website. All you need is that in your library card. So LinkedIn Learning, you might have heard of it as lynda.com a few years ago, but it was bought by LinkedIn. And this source, I can't talk enough about this source. There is so much available there. There is just career-related stuff, design, but tons of financial things. I mean, it would cost you a lot to buy a subscription on your own. It's available for free through your library. And conversely, Value Line, if you really want to deep dive and really focus on investing and stocks, this is like the go-to resource. Again, if you would have to pay hundreds of dollars in a subscription fee, but through your website at the hcplc.org, you can find this. Just grab that barcode and a pin, and you can pretty much learn anything you want to.
I'm the same. I can't say enough about the LinkedIn Learning tool. There's just so many goodies on there that you might not even expect to be on there. There's full certification programs for some things on there, which is so neat.
Yeah, I mean, in the pandemic especially, I mean, you could totally start your career just on the trainings you did through LinkedIn Learning. And because it's got that backing of LinkedIn, it's got that good reputation, and you can put that on your resume.
Yep, for sure. So we love some financial literacy and continuing education stuff. So folks at home who have joined us, maybe joined us a little bit later, Remember, get your questions, just type those into the chat box. If anything we talked about you'd like to look at again, or if you have follow-up questions on any of it, just get those questions typed in the chat box. We would love to answer them when we go to our Q&A time. So definitely get those submitted. Kath, I'm curious. So the previous slide, actually, where it had that kind of side-by-side comparison of how things were trending, is there maybe a tutorial on there that shows you what those different things mean on that page?
Sure. And Morningstar has a few quick and handy guides. If you go back to their front page, they have some, so you could actually print out a sheet that you can kind of have with you that will go over things. There's we kind of glossed over that a bit tonight, but yeah, there's definitely resources that will say, directly where to go and kind of what things are.
Okay. I love tools like this because I didn't grow up in a house where this kind of financial discussion was something that happened. So it's not really something that I learned growing up, and it's not anything that was ever taught in school at any level that I was in. So I didn't study finance, so I didn't learn about any of this. But you're right. Your friend Chris showed up first day on the job and had to fill out his HR paperwork, and like, where do you begin to figure out what all of that stuff means and what what you can do with it? So I love learning about this kind of a resource, especially for folks that are just entering the workforce that haven't had that chance. And then for oldies like me that are catching up, saying, hey, maybe I need to reevaluate what I'm doing for that. So
what's nice is I would love if some of our younger folks early in their careers do get comfortable with these kind of websites, because really it can make a really big difference. It could save you probably a ton of money, or just help you make those decisions, because, like, for instance, just what would you think of cafeteria plan? What? So
yeah, for sure. So if you think of your question after the program, or maybe you're watching this as a recorded event and you have a follow-up question, you can reach out to us at hcplc.org/contact or 813-273-3652. But if you, like me, would rather never, ever, ever talk to another human on a phone call, if you go to hcplc.org/contact, there's this fantastic button on there that says Ask a Librarian. If you click on that Ask a Librarian button on the hcplc.org/contact page, that actually gives you the option to chat or text with one of our local Hillsborough County staff in real time. You're not talking to a chat GPT figment of the imagination. You're not talking to some call center someplace else. You're talking to one of us Hillsborough County folks on that Ask a Librarian tool. So hcplc.org/contact. If you're like, hey, I saw this program on Morningstar, I don't remember how to get to it, or I don't remember what they were saying about the other resources. If you just log into, just click on that Ask a Librarian button, they will definitely be able to point you in the right direction and get you set up with the tools that you need that way. So don't worry about, if you miss taking a note on that, they will definitely hook you up with the right thing to click on next. And if you, oh, go ahead.
Dare I suggest, we're a lovely bunch of folks. Come on down. We'd be happy to show it to you in person if you want to.
Oh yeah, definitely. To visit your local branches. But yeah, if you'd rather not pick up the phone, or if you can't make it into a branch, definitely try that Ask a Librarian button to get back on track there. So if you are maybe looking at your finances with the Morningstar and looking to get all that set up, you might be thinking about saving some money for yourself and your family. And if you're looking at maybe tuning up the car or learning more about your car and what you can do with the maintenance schedule and options there, Chilton's Repair. So oldies like me repaired their own cars way back in the day when that was a reasonable thing to do. And we all had our Chilton or our Haynes car repair manuals, and we were able to basically take the car apart, had full diagrams and everything. Well, those still exist, and you can get that as a free digital resource through the library. So it's just like the repair manuals that you remember from back in the day, maybe, but it's digital now. With it has charts that you can click on that explain, exactly what you're looking at if you're trying to track down a problem with your car. Maybe save you some money. It also has really cool tools like being able to give you an idea of what a part or a repair might cost if you do end up needing some help with that. So check that out with us next month, June 7th at 6 p.m. We'll be hanging out, having our library version of Car Talk with the Chilton Repair resource. So we hope you can join us for that program. All right. Well, I think that wraps it up. We don't have any questions hanging out in the Q&A section. So remember, if you weren't able to type it into the chat box today, or if you think of a question afterwards, just reach out to us. We'll be happy to help you out and point you towards the right resource for that. Kat, thank you so much for this program. This is going to be such a big help to people. I know it's a big help to me, even having been in the workforce for a while. It's never too late to look at your finances and look at what you can adjust there. And just learn what some of those different pieces and parts are. I mean, that's such a valuable tool. I'm so happy that you were able to introduce that to us.
Sure. Thank you, Lisa.
All right, folks. Thank you so much for joining us, and we hope to see you next time. Good night, everyone.
Good night.